Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Carolina, and if you're not new, welcome back. This is going to be my video on my approval from my appeal to go back to nursing school. I got approved, guys, and I am so excited, and I can't wait to tell you guys because I did make another video where I was explaining how I got dismissed and I failed out of nursing school, and I was devastated, and I submitted my appeal back in July. The video that I had made was fresh, so that was back in June when I got dismissed, and all June I worked on my appeal letter and gathering all the documentation that I was going to submit. So I submitted that in July 1st and I got approved. And let me look at my calendar because I wrote down the day that I got approved. So just so you guys can have an idea of how long I waited to get approved or denied. Okay, so I got approved on August 6th. That was when I got the call. Actually, I had gotten a call on August 5th, which was a Monday, but I was at the beach and my phone turned off, so I called the director back from the school, from the nursing program, and he told me on August 6th that my appeal had gotten approved. And I was so excited, but so nervous because my baby is due in September. But I could go back this coming Monday, August 19th. I can officially go back to my nursing program, but because my baby is due in September, I won't be able to finish finals, and that's gonna mess up everything. So I don't want to take a chance. Hi, honey.
Hi.
So I'm gonna go back in October 28th, so that's like a month and a half after the baby is born, which is plenty of time for me to set a schedule. So I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. I never lost hope that I would be approved. I prayed. I asked my mom to pray. I asked my tias to pray. I asked my boyfriend to pray, my kids. I started praying more. I knew that this is what I wanted. I know this is what I want, to go back to my nursing program and ultimately become a nurse. I am so excited that I get to go back. I am a little nervous because obviously I'm gonna have 3 kids. My oldest daughter is 6. My son is 3, and this one will be a newborn, so it is a little scary. I have done this before. I've been in school for quite a while. I would say like 8 years. But it's been part-time, off-time, full-time, so that's why it's been taking me a while, right? But with my first daughter, I had already completed like 1 year of college when I got pregnant with her, so it was a year, and then I got pregnant, and then when she was born, I took 1 month off and went back when she was a month old. So I'm gonna be doing the same, but this time I have more knowledge of what I need to get done and how I need to do it. I am more organized, especially with my agendas. But yeah, guys, I got approved. I stayed positive, but in the back of my mind, sometimes I was negative. I was like, why would I get approved? I felt like I was giving excuses, or maybe they're gonna think that because I do have 2 children and one is gonna be a newborn, I won't be able to do it. They won't approve me. I did have thoughts like that, and I would cry because I thought that there's always a chance that I would not get approved, and I didn't want to think of other things that I was gonna do, or a plan B, or what is my next move, what other school am I gonna go to. I didn't want to think that way because that would be me saying, oh, I'm giving up. Obviously, once I got the approval or denial, if I did get denied, I would look for my next move, or what I would do next, or what I would do, right? What school I would go to. But I didn't want to think that way. So when I would think those things, I just kind of like try to get it out and just like pray and ask God for clarification and just like guidance and patience, because it did take more than a month to get approved. And those last 2 weeks of knowing that they would approve me, I was just so impatient. I felt overwhelmed. I felt like crying all the time. I felt like like I wasn't gonna get approved. I was like, what's taking so long? It is summer break, so they're probably on summer break, but I'm like, can I just get approved now? Tell me now, because I want to know my next move. My baby is coming, I don't know. There's just all these things, right? So I'm gonna talk to you guys about how I submitted my appeal letter and what I included and what I think helped me. Okay, I am going to tell you guys like things that I did, if I didn't mention it in my video. I did go and sit down with my director a few times, and he asked me if that I did need documentation, because if you do not have documentation or proof of what you were going through in your specific semester or term, chances are that you're not going to be able to submit an appeal, only because you need strong evidence or proof that you were going through something. I don't think that if you just submit a letter saying, oh well, I did this, or blaming the professor, or saying, well, I procrastinated but give me another chance, I don't think that will work. I feel like, because they asked me for documentation. Okay, so if you were going through this, can you show proof that you were? Because you can't just say you need to show, right? So I think that's what saved me, because I did have documentation. And at the beginning, I didn't think I had it. I didn't think that I had a documentation to what I was going through, because I was just so overwhelmed. Okay, so you're like in denial, like this can't be happening to me, that everything shuts off, right? So and I thought that I was giving excuses when I was saying, oh well, I am pregnant, I did have some stuff going on, but I don't know what kind of proof you're talking about. It was confusing to me. But I did have I had a hospital visit in the beginning of the year, and the things that I was going through because of that visit were still going on until that term. So there was a lot of things that I was worried about concerning my pregnancy, which caused me to not procrastinate, but kind of get distracted with my work, especially towards the final. I don't know, there was just a lot of things going on, and I was just not all there. So I explained that, and I did have proof of that hospital visit, and I did have documentation that my OB gave me to explain to them what was going on with my pregnancy. So I gave that to them with my appeal letter. So you do have to write an appeal letter where you have to explain, well, basically what I wrote in this letter is what happened, which is I failed. I take full responsibility for failing, because you can't blame anybody else but yourself. You did not fail because of your professor. You did not fail because of the person sitting next to you. You failed because of you. Okay? And whether you have an excuse or not, right? And obviously in this case they do need documentation. So if you failed because because you were procrastinating or you didn't want to study, that's a whole nother story. But I did not fail because I procrastinated or because I didn't want to study. I was studying, there was just other things I was dealing with. Okay, so I explained, I take full responsibility. This is what happened. This is what I was going through during this term and before. That could have affected me and did affect me. And if I do get another chance, this is what I'm going to do different. And I do have to bring in my children into the letter, because it's harder with kids, okay? So you have to explain how you're going to get organized, what you're going to do, who's your support system, how are they going to help you, when are they going to help you, programs you're going to take advantage of, like tutoring, study groups, stuff like that. So I did mention, because my child is going to be born in September, I won't be starting until the next term, so I am going to be able to start already next week, but I chose not to because I am having my child in mid-September, so that is not convenient for me. So I'm starting the next term, which is October 28th. Okay, so I go back, and my child is going to be a month and a half old, which is really little, but I explained to them, okay, so my child is going to be very little, not in those words, but I'm giving you the story of it. I'm going to have my third child in September. That's going to give me a month and a half, is plenty of time to set a schedule or kind of get to know your baby and how it's going to be. Have a babysitter who's going to watch my children when and what time. I'm going to take advantage of tutoring, study groups, make more friends, more networking with my classmates, taking more notes. A big thing is getting help early and doing my best early on, so if I do get a low score later in the term, it doesn't affect me as much because I have a strong beginning. Okay, that is one thing that I learned from this. One of my mistakes was feeling comfortable in the beginning because it's the beginning, you don't have to do as well, and then towards the end you want to do everything, right? No, that is wrong. And I explained that. So I did acknowledge my responsibility and I did say what I was doing wrong. Okay, so that helped me. I did a paper. I didn't do so many papers. The letter was like a page and a half, and that was enough for me to explain. I felt like I needed to say more because I talk a lot and I just want to explain every detail, but I didn't want to freak them out with like my excuses. So just brief, okay? And so that's pretty much it. I concluded my letter with explaining if I was given a second chance, I would do my best not to mess it up. And so I'm not going to mess it up. I'm actually so excited and so pumped. And I'm already organizing all my notes. My son calling me in the background.
Mommy!
Yes, Liam? Okay. So yeah, so I submitted documentation for my OBGYN and the hospital proof. I did my letter and they submitted my grades and my ATI score levels from nursing school. So I think my ATI levels saved me because my director emphasized that. He looked at my grades and the terms that I got those grades in, and he's like, well, you have really good grades, and then it's like all of a sudden something happened. So it's not like I had horrible grades all of the time, no. I had really good B's and higher since I started that school and the nursing program, and all of a sudden this term I didn't do well. So obviously something happened and something did. I was going through stuff. So he told me that I think you have a very good chance. Not that he wanted to give me hope, but just saying compared to other students, he didn't name or he didn't give me their information. He just said your appeal stands out because you do have very good grades, just something happened this term or during this term, and your ATI proctored exam levels are all level 2s, which is really well. ATI proctored exams, if you're in nursing school, you know what that is. If you don't, they are exams at the end of each term of nursing school where they quiz you on that term's subject, like med-surg or mental health and stuff like that. And they score you based on your overall knowledge of the information, and if you get, you can get anywhere from a level 0, which you kind of don't know nothing, level 1, level 2, which is you're proficient in the information, and level 3, which is the highest, you know a lot. So there's not a lot of people that get a lot of level 3s. The majority of people get level 2s. But there's a lot more people that get level 1s. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they're comprehending the information or not. Obviously everybody's in different, they comprehend differently or they understand the questions, because nursing school questions are no joke, but that's another topic. They're just so, like, you have to learn how to apply the information, not know the information. Like, you're supposed to know the information, but you're supposed to know how to apply it. So it's different, it's tricky. But all my levels have been 2s, okay? So I am proficient in the information. I know what I'm doing. I know what's going on. So they're like, everybody else who's trying to appeal has level 1s and their grades are not great, okay? So I'm just saying that. So I thought I had a really good chance, and all my friends, I kept telling them, I was like, oh, I just don't know, and they're like, no girl, like, you're always on top of your stuff, like, you have 2 kids and you have another one on the way and you still keep pushing and you're doing better than most of the people who don't have kids, so you're gonna do it and you are gonna get approved. Everybody in my life was telling me, you are gonna get approved, and I was like, yeah, but there's always a chance that I wasn't. So I didn't really want to concentrate on that because I didn't want to be so negative, but there were times where I would, and I would get so overwhelmed and Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I have 2 kids, another one on the way. I'm not even finished with nursing school. So I am really glad that I got approved, guys. If there's any other questions that you want to know about the appeal process or how that worked, just comment down below and tell me, ask me a question. But I think I covered everything. Thank you guys so much for praying for me. I know some of you guys commented on my last video. Thank you guys so much for being so positive and just being there and encouraging me during like that time. And I know that some of you might, if you're watching this video and you are going through that, just look at your options. Always ask for help. Don't think, oh, maybe I won't get approved, or maybe I wasn't going through something. No, just be real. If you procrastinated or you didn't want to study, be real with yourself and change that. But if you did have something going on, always talk to the counselor, talk to the advisors. Maybe there's something that was going on but you don't realize is enough to be able to appeal, and just keep going. I know during when I did get dismissed, the dean did tell me, oh, but there's other school, there's other ways. Yes, but if you really want this, try it. Appeal if you can. Always do what you think you should do. Okay? And I know it's very difficult because everybody's situation is different. And I don't want to sit here and tell you guys, oh, well, there's other schools you can look into, or although there is, because I know that when I got dismissed, the dean was telling me all these things like, oh, well, you'll be fine, you'll be okay, there's other schools, look, there's a school here, there's a school there, go and then come back, or stuff like that. And you know, you don't really want to hear that when you're going through something like this. You kind of want to you kind of want to hear things like, well, tell me what was going on, like open-ended questions, kind of like to get the student talking. Okay, so but just talk to them, be honest, especially be honest with yourself. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.